Alright guys, before we get started with all the tomfoolery, all the shenanigans and stuff we're about to get into, a lot of serious stuff has been going on. Don't worry, we're not going to turn this into a political episode, so you can hang around. All you got to do, we're going to take a moment of silence for George Floyd. May he rest in peace, and hopefully, with everything going on, get some justice. So, we're going to take a moment of silence starting right now. Alright, y'all. So, Mallory, how's your week been so far?
It's been busy. Haven't had a lot of time to play games. I actually moved out this weekend into my new place, so that's been cool.
Thanks for telling us.
I live with a new friend, who we're figuring it out, so it's cool.
It sounds like you don't know the person you just moved in with.
No, I do. I mean, we're really good friends, and I moved into their place, and, you know, it literally just happened. I finally finished moving in today, so I'm, like, kind of exhausted. So,
moving sucks.
Getting everything set up, you know, haven't had much time to game or anything, especially with what's going on, so, yeah, it's been my week.
Josh?
Aside from the depression?
Right.
I mean, yeah, still going strong in Animal Crossing.
There you go.
PSO2 finally launched on PC on Thursday, I think. So I've been playing that lately. It's certainly been a very, very rocky launch for the PC release, because not only is the UI just a bit weird and the launcher's a bit outdated, but it has to go through the Microsoft app,
which also sucks.
Yeah, it's not that great. But the game itself, despite some of the issues, like there's a lot of lag in the lobby, aside from some of the negative stuff, it has been pretty fun and definitely pretty nostalgic, because I used to play PSO a lot back on the GameCube.
So it needs to be asked, is the nostalgia factor essential to enjoy the game? Is it something that you think people with zero connection with PSO will be able to get into?
I mean, I think people who haven't played the original ones will be able to get into it.
Okay, good. Then that means it's fundamentally good then.
Yeah. I mean, because it's definitely not the same as the original game, so you can't play it just like how you played PSO episodes 1 and 2.
Right.
So it is a completely different game. So yeah, you don't really need to play the earlier ones to enjoy this IMO.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I mean, I think that's the majority. I rewatched RoboCop.
Hell yeah, you did.
Because I don't think I mentioned that last week.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
That was after.
Yeah, I rewatched RoboCop. Was chilling and watching some Star Trek TNG earlier.
TNG's good.
Yeah.
What's the worst Star Trek? Voyager? No. Is Voyager good?
Depends on who you ask.
Okay, so that might be the polarizing one then.
Yeah. I know Steve Shives, he's a Star Trek YouTuber. Well, he does other things too, like politics as well, but he's a big Trekkie guy.
Yeah.
He absolutely hates Voyager.
God damn it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess right now, I haven't watched it, but from the consensus, it kind of sounds like Picard might be the worst series right now.
Oh, God.
Yeah, sad. Very sad, unfortunately.
Yeah, sadness.
I think a lot of people would say that Deep Space Nine is probably the best, which sadly I haven't watched much of.
Yeah, I haven't seen it at all.
Yeah, but of what I know of certain episodes, it does sound very interesting.
That's cool. Star Trek's always been interesting series. I think that the comparisons between it and Star Wars are so stupid because they really are fucking apples and grapes.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So, and for the person who's gonna make that grapple joke or whatever, fuck you. I mean, so you hate people. So I mean, that's not my problem. But anyways, yeah. Anything else for you?
I think that's
Speak not forever,
good.
hold your John.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was it.
All right, John. Oh yeah, that's right. Me, I didn't do anything. Haven't been doing anything. I've been extremely tired this week, which sucks. I did that thing where I woke up with a bit of a scratch in the throat this morning, and it was nothing. It was just phlegm or some dumb bullshit.
I always hate that feeling.
Thank God, especially right now, it's even scarier. I bought Myst Remastered, which came out on the 21st, but I still haven't touched it because Myst takes a lot of effort, and if I'm not can even be fucked to get out of bed, I'm not going to be able to be fucked to play Myst. So I bought it, downloaded it, haven't played it yet. I probably won't be playing it because, what the fuck comes out June 5th? There's a game I want that comes out June 5th. It's in the news! I forgot, so we'll talk about it later. But yeah. So other than that, I really haven't been doing anything. I did have a dumb moment earlier this week. I forgot if I had it, and just don't worry guys, we're just burning to death over here. I forgot to mention if I just forgot to mention it last time. Sorry, the smoke alarm went off downstairs, so that's what was confusing. Just in case that needed to be put into context because you guys didn't hear it. But the mic's pretty sensitive, so I'm sure you guys did. Anyways, it threw me off. So I had a dumb moment earlier this week, and I forgot if I just didn't mention it on the last episode because it slipped my mind, or if I thought about it after. But I realized with all the branding that I have all over my car, I don't have anything of my brands. My brand! I don't have anything, so I did get disconnectedcast.com decal made. I'm going to be slapping that on somewhere. We'll see. I'll see wherever it looks best. And I'll be getting that on, so it'd probably be good to rep my own brands too. So that'll be pretty cool. Not going to do the Salvation Entertainment one yet. We'll see. But right now, Disconnected Cast is obviously the push, so we'll go with that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Before we get on to the news, where can everybody find you on the internet, Mr. Josh?
Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, @Joshiro Joestar, YouTube, ShiroPlay5.
Almost on the unified branding. Almost.
Yeah, almost.
Miss Mallory? Hello? Did you die?
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now.
No, I'm still working out all the dead zones in my house.
Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram at awesome_Mally.
All right. I was actually going to be nice and throw John's plugs in, but I can't remember. Oh, it's Evil Dead Guy or something like that.
I think it's like _ Evil Dead
on
Guy.
Insta, I think, and then just Evil Dead Guy on Twitter.
Yeah, if you're looking for Evil Dead content, ironically, there is none.
There is none, yeah. John probably mentions Evil Dead once every 5 years on those accounts, so there's that. Yeah, and you can find all my stuff at ZDRock at all the places, SlimNationEntertainment.com, and as you will see on the car soon, DisconnectedCast.com. So there's that. Okay, so Sony gearing up for their big old showcase in a few days. It should be, what's today, June 1st? When this releases, it'll be June 1st. So 3 days from now, on June 4th, Sony will be doing their showcase. It's interesting. Xbox, of course, did shoot first because their showcase was about a week or two ago. So we'll see. I know that game companies try not to shoot first unless they're super confident, because they want to kind of get that intel and adjust their announcements accordingly. For example, the last time Xbox shot first, they did the always online thing, and that was obviously met with bad reception. So we don't know for a fact that PS4 never had it. So even if PS4 did have always online at any point, obviously seeing Xbox get that kind of reaction would have made them remove it before announcing the PS4. So there's that. So we'll see. We'll see what the PS5 has to do. It has a sharp-looking controller, I know that much. I think my biggest concern with the PS5 right now is I'm not seeing anything that shows the actual capabilities of the system in terms of games. They're not really showing any gameplay footage. So far, almost everything has been fully pre-rendered. Last of Us 2 is one of the only things where we've seen actual gameplay because it leaked. And, of course, they've shown some stuff officially as well. But we saw the cutscenes that leaked and everything. So it looks fine and everything, but I think a lot of people, Josh and I had this conversation, and I do feel, I felt the same way too, even before he brought it up, so I was just kind of like, wow, I'm sure a lot of people feel this way, is we don't really see a big jump. We don't see, from PS4 to PS5, there's nothing really there. Now, I know, if you work at fucking Digital Foundry, you could probably point out every single, ray of light that's breaking through that wasn't in the original PS4 rendering. But not everybody works at Digital Foundry, because you can't see all those kinks and everything. So because of that, I think the average person is going to see very little movement from the 4 to the 5 in terms of graphical fidelity. So let's really hope that they focus on performance this time. Everyone wants, of course, a minimum. More would be nice, but a minimum of 60 frames. That seems to be the main wish that any actual game player wants, so we'll actually see.
Yeah, it's like, get the frame rate up, and then you can worry about the other
The fact
shit.
that they're so worried about 8K and shit already is so
Yeah.
stupid, because do you know how many people have an 8K monitor? I think they said, 2% of people, in the US even have an 8K setup.
Yeah. So I might have mentioned this when I was helping Daniel with a podcast episode of his, but one thing that I will give some credit is that the when they showed that Unreal quote-unquote gameplay.
Right, the fake where they were masking a loading screen behind the gameplay.
Yeah, the environment looks nice. It definitely looks better. However, when you look at Ghosts of Tsushima, which currently is slated to come out on current gen, the environments look hella good.
Yeah.
Almost as good as that. So
Yep.
it's
And then, of
kinda
course, you even have stuff like The Order, where The Order's an awful game, but that game still looks fucking sharp.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
and that was, closer to launch, right? Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
early lifespan. Definitely first year.
I really felt like that game was just a fucking graphical demo.
It was.
Oh, look at all the pretty shiny things in this game.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, the CEO talked about the pricing strategy, which I accidentally forgot to read that part. Josh, dance for the audience. Let's talk about Animal Crossing as I look this up. You were mentioning some sort of fish that you were trying to catch before it goes away?
Yeah, I found out the name. It's the giant trevally, but apparently a friend of mine told me that I'm okay. It's not leaving this month. Yeah, it's going to be around for a while. However, the oarfish is leaving. I was hoping to get a third one so I can get a collectible, but I had no luck. I probably used maybe 30 fish bait today.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
I fucking went in.
Yeah.
That's really a shame that you went that far in and didn't get anything.
I know. It was sad. I didn't catch the giant trevally or the oarfish. I did catch another mahi-mahi, though.
Oh, that's cool. Mahi-mahi is cool.
Yeah, but I already have it for the
All
museum.
Right, so the pricing use part wasn't really that important. It's just the same shit we've been hearing, which it's going to be, everyone's expecting about $400 or $500. If they sell it at $4, it's at cost. If they sell it at $5, they'll make somewhat of a profit. So all the fucking Sony CEO, all he really said was, yeah, we're trying to figure it out. The Sony CEO, Jim Ryan, by the way, what a name.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
That's like a fake name.
I know, right? An interesting bit.
I am Jim Ryan. I am
An interesting bit of PS4 news, though, is that starting in July, all games to pass certification for the PS4 must be able to run on the PS5. Because of Sony's already trying to make their push to be backwards compatible.
Yeah.
Still nowhere near the Xbox, which can go all the way back to original Xbox, which they've already confirmed that the Series X will be able to go from current to all the way back to the original. So PlayStation's got a lot of work in that department because that shit can barely go backwards once. So we'll see. But to help with this, all games July and on will pretty much be guaranteed to run on PS5 because of the certification requirement. So if a game cannot run on PS5, it cannot release on the PS4. They're making that standard now.
Interesting.
Which, being literally months away from PS5 launch, probably makes sense.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, one thing I didn't like in what Jim Ryan said is he started to kind of go on this tangent where he was like, guys, game development's kind of probably going to cost a bit more. What was I afraid of when I heard that? I'm afraid games are going to actually go past the $60 threshold. I'm worried that we're going to go into the era of the non-premium edition standard game $60, $70, $80. $70, $80 game now.
Yeah.
If that's the case, I understand I'm in the minority here, but I pretty much already don't buy AAA titles in the first place because of this. I get so much more fun out of a $10, $20, $30 indie game. I haven't really bought a AAA game that's not on sale in a really long time. So with that being the case, if games go up to fucking 70
or 80,
and of course that's probably going to be AAA pricing. Fuck, man, indie price is probably going to stay about the same because they pretty much sell it at what it's valued at,
right? Because
they're cool. But if AAA titles, that gives me even less incentive.
Which is ridiculous because they're already making a killing considering how much that there's... It doesn't cost that much to print onto a fucking disc.
Exactly.
And then with digital sales, it doesn't cost them shit.
And it still costs the same usually.
Yeah.
Or at most $10 less on digital. At most. So, which is bullshit to begin with. Exactly. Because you're cutting all that overhead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I really... I want to say Jim Sterling has a video on this, which I'll probably try to look up, but I want to say he did mention this before, that the $60 price tag on a AAA game is already bullshit.
I know if he hasn't done a video, I do know that Philosophy Tube has done a video where he does talk about that, about, you know...
$60 already being bullshit?
Right. And, granted, he doesn't do a lot of, you know, topics about video games, but during the video, he actually does dress as... Jim Sterling.
So it was in that one?
Yeah.
Then that may be
that might be where
a reference then, or where I got it from, one of the two. So yeah, there's that. But regardless, that's what I've always heard from a lot of people, even insiders in the industry, say that $60 is kind of already an expensive ticket to begin with, especially with the amount of content that a lot of games are having now, which is not much.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about a game, and we're actually going to have a bit of a discussion, if anyone has any opinions on it, that is kind of maybe handling this model a little bit better, but we'll see if we see that as better, or if we see it as a potential dark turn. But that's coming up later, so we'll see what is going on with that. The game I wanted to play, so I kind of alluded to this earlier, and I almost spoiled it, but... No Man's Sky comes out this Friday on Switch. It got already delayed. It was already supposed to come out, I believe, in April, but because of COVID and the studio porting it, being based in China, had to delay it. But it's finally coming out this Friday. Already, the tests are all out and everything. I really hope Digital Foundry does a video on it. They usually do if it performs really well or really poor. So I really hope that it's because it's really well. They have promised a locked 30 frames, which, for Switch, I mean, that's par for the course.
Yeah.
I'd rather have that than a fluctuating 60 that's running at like 40 half the time and it looks weird. And they did say it's going to run 1080 docked, 720 handheld. There's going to be optional motion controls that they added, and very much like Skyrim, you don't have to use them, but they are there for those who like using the Joy-Cons. It all sounds great. From what they've said, they're pretty confident. We'll see. And I'm pretty curious. Have either of you guys? Oh, Mallory, you were John that played Outer Worlds already.
I started Outer Worlds.
You did, okay. So with that being the case, I'm doubting you're going to end up picking it up for Switch then? Because you're already kind of playing it on that platform?
Since I've already started on Xbox, I'll probably just stay on Xbox for that one.
Josh, I know you said you kind of had an interest in playing Outer Worlds.
I mean, I do want to play it.
Would Switch be the platform, or would you probably just pick it up on PC when you eventually get to it?
That's a good question. It's a very good question. Not sure.
Okay, just curious if you had like a preference in mind. Because me, I'm like all in on the Switch version. It's why, even though I played it on Xbox Game Pass for a bit, I kind of just stopped and I got a good impression of it enough to have an opinion, and was just like, all right, I'm going to save the rest for when it finally comes out on Switch fucking like 6-8 months later or whatever. But yeah, so I'm going to definitely dedicate it to Switch, but I have a pretty bad bias with that, so obviously. But I'm pretty excited, so we'll see. I do hope it runs well, because if it does, I see myself this Friday dropping a lot of hours. I finally might get back into gaming and make a fucking video again, finally. This is, I believe, almost over a week ago now, but G2A has finally been everyone's kind of known it. It's that unknown truth that GTA sells stolen keys just because there's too much showing, but you still haven't seen behind the door. Well, the developer Woob finally was able to prove that the keys that they were selling were stolen, but G2A, being the piece of shit company they are, on the plus side, they stuck to their guns. They made that statement a few months ago that if you can prove, as a developer, that they sold stolen keys, they will pay you 10 times the amount that they made off of those keys.
Jeez.
And they stuck to their guns. They agreed to pay $39,600 to Woob because they lost. But the problem with that is G2A still a piece of shit, first of all, because they still exist. But B, they tried to white knight it, though, where they were just like, see, we stuck to our guns. Not our fault. Woob's the only one who wanted to step up. Which is bullshit. A lot of developers have tried. They just can't get that conclusive evidence that Woob was able to get. So the fact that they kind of go with that backhanded, like, because no one else is trying, even though tons of indie devs have bitched and moaned publicly about this. That's why they made that 10-time statement.
Yeah.
They also, so they tried to seem noble by sticking to their words. They also went as far as to say that if this ever happens, G2A's not at fault because it had to have been someone who duped them, someone who scammed them. So if anything, they're a victim. They're not shitty key resellers. They are victims if this does happen, because there's no way that they would have done it on purpose, which is bullshit.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, a lot of people on YouTube, there's a lot of people who nobly know about this and refuse to be sponsored by them, but unfortunately they must pay decent because there are still quite a few YouTubers who still, despite this known bullshit, still have them as a sponsor, namely MXR on my list. I think he's the only one on my personal list that's sponsored by them, which kind of sucks because, I like MXR. But anyways, yeah, so they still have a lot of influencers out there, and then of course you have the sadly shitty people who can, these people are never allowed to complain about their favorite studio being shut down or anything, because there's a ton of people out there who are just like, don't care, I get a key for cheap.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's not the point, but okay. So yeah, there's that. Power Rangers Battle for the Grid is going to be landing on the Stadia in June. While that is a bit of shitty news just because God knows how fighting games run on the Stadia, and God knows who even uses the Stadia still here in 2020.
Yeah.
They have said that this will make them, albeit your opinion on whether this is a record to hold or not, I believe they said the only fighting game to have 5 ways crossplay. Battle of the Power Rangers Battle of the Grid already plays with Steam, PS4, and Xbox and Switch as crossplay already. This would be the 5th one. God help anyone who gets paired with a Stadia player. But yeah, that is certainly a record. We will see. I did like how the article did mention, I forgot it was Kotaku Destructo, I'll link it below, but oh no, I won't. I haven't been doing liner notes because I can't be bothered. That's right. But anyways, it was funny though, because the article I did read did mention that it's funny to see Sony playing ball so late in the crossplay game when everyone's already kind of agreed a long time ago to do it. Like Sony, who openly mocked crossplay, as they refer to in this article, because they fucking did for sure. Who shit-talked it so much, made fun of it at Sony presentations, at E3, etc., etc. Did that hilarious thing where they said, why would anyone want to crossplay Fortnite with anyone else? Sony's the best way to play it. Yeah. And then they were proven that it's the shittiest way to play it, connection-wise, graphics-wise, frame rate-wise. All overall, PS4 was actually the worst place to play it, so it was a little funny that they made that bold claim, even though it was a big lie. But yeah, so congrats to the Battle of the Grid devs for that. Interesting how they've salvaged the game, because it seems like there is a bit of a scene for it now, when at first that game definitely got panned.
Yeah.
So, good. Don't Nod Entertainment, those who brought you Life is Strange, Vampire, probably their 2 biggest titles. They're based in France, but they're actually opening up a studio, a brand new sect in Montreal, Canada, so keeping it French. I'm actually happy to hear this, because I do want them to see them do more, but I can imagine with one studio that's kind of hard to do. By expanding, hopefully they're able to do better with it. It's a little interesting to expand in the current climate, but hopefully nothing bad comes of it and it actually ends up well. Another article that made me laugh, they don't bring up Remember Me at all. That piece of shit game, that Don't Nod's first attempt at a game, period. They don't even bring that up in the article. They go, the developer known for Life is Strange and Vampire. And I was just like, yeah? How about the Capcom, by the way, also was involved in that piece of shit. Capcom published, Don't Nod developed, Remember Me. Guess nobody remembers it.
I remember watching someone playing a stream of it, and it just seemed so weird.
It's so
I just couldn't get into it.
I remember hearing someone praise the protagonist as an interesting character. She sucks. Other than being a person of color being the most interesting thing about her, she is a boring husk of a character.
I remember some of the NPCs seemed pretty cringe.
They were very cringy.
Or maybe not even NPCs, but rather, like, I guess side characters.
Yeah.
I'd just be watching the cutscenes, it was like,
it's really bad.
Man, I'm not digging this.
They also did that thing that David Cage has a problem with sometimes, where they have, like, weird French Americans for no reason, where they're supposed to be American or some shit, but they're like, come to the panel here in America. And I'm like, why the fuck do you sound like that? That's weird.
Yeah.
It is me, American John Smith. And it's just like, but you're not, though. You're clearly a Frenchman.
I am
Not even trying to do, But anyways.
Yeah,
we'll see. I am excited, though, because I didn't know that Don't Nod actually has 2 coming down the pipeline, at least trying to release them in 2020 with COVID, who knows. But they have a murder mystery game coming out called Twin Mirror. And a coming-of-age drama, which, with the way they handle Life is Strange, I'm pretty hyped for this. Normally I'm not a coming-of-age person, but, I did come of age, I think. But yeah, that one's called Tell Me Why. Not the Backstreet Boys song lyric, but it's going to be, although if they reference it in there, that's going to be gold. It really does seem like Don't Nod, with the fact that a lot of their stuff is narrative-based with gameplay. Vampire had a lot of action gameplay in it. Life is Strange is obviously more narrative-driven decision-making stuff. They really seem like they're poised to be a good Telltale Games. Telltale Games ended up being revealed as a shitty company, and they obviously died because they're a shitty company, and so on and so forth. But they didn't give some classic games. They just kind of started overplaying the formula. It seems like Don't Nod kind of wants to take over the mantle, and I'm okay with that, because I didn't hate Telltale-style games. I just got tired of the way they oversaturated it, because they just started doing, 6 series at a time, and it was like, Telltale Borderlands, Telltale Game of Thrones, Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy, Telltale Minecraft, Telltale, and it's just like, shut the fuck up, man, I don't care about it that much.
Yeah, and then another thing, too, is, when you play one of their older games, like Sam & Max...
Yeah.
And then you play...
Or Escape from Monkey Island.
I haven't played that one.
Oh, dude, those are so good. Or Escape? Tales of Monkey Island? Whatever the fuck. They're good, though. The pirate one.
But then you play their newer ones, like Walking Dead. Like, the puzzles...
are just lame?
Yeah, they're, super easy. And I get it. They want to make it simple because people are clearly just playing it for the story, but...
Yeah, the other thing that I think got people tired of the game is when the facade of decision-making was revealed.
Oh, yeah.
When you realized that no matter how hard you tried, you couldn't really do anything important. Yeah, you kill off Jim Johnson, or you would kill off Ashley, or whoever. Sorry if that's a real character who dies. I'm making up names. You didn't really matter, though, because, that person will die, but A, they weren't important, and B, protagonist X will still do Y. So it doesn't really matter, because in the very end, the story's very linear.
I know,
overall.
They just show you, X amount of people chose this.
Yep, and you're
just like you did.
And guess what? It didn't matter, because the story still progressed.
Yeah.
It's not like Life is Strange, where some shit really affects it. Did you ever play much Life is Strange?
No, I haven't played
Damn
any of
it,
it.
I want you to. It's
I was
really
going to say,
good.
even Until Dawn, does a much
even
better
Until
job.
Dawn, yeah. I mean, Until Dawn, you could pretty much have everyone die.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Yep.
You really do feel your decisions. And some of them were really implemented in a clever way, where you were like, oh, because I touched that, my fingerprints were there, ergo he saw that and knew we were there. I was just like, that's cool. Telltale, it's like, oh yeah, that guy got ate by a zombie, but you only knew him for 30 seconds, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
It's just like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, there's that. And now, one of the discussions we were going to have is Minecraft Dungeon. So, we talked about it last time, came out kind of bare bones, which is a bit of a shame. The fundamental systems are there, it plays, it doesn't run shitty, but there's just not much to do. People were beating this game several times, either a day or in a couple of days, just beating it, just going through it. And it has multiplayer, which is cool. But they did make some announcements. Now, it did launch at $20, which is obviously not a full-fledged AAA game. Some people argue, is it still indie because Microsoft does it now, or is it now a major AAA title game?
Yeah.
I would argue it's more on the AAA title side. So, what they're doing, it seems, is they're actually going to be doing, based on the breakdown, if you own the Hero Edition, which was the premium $30 edition, these 2 packs will be included. There are going to be some level packs. So, if the cost breakdown is fair for people who bought the premium edition and there's no sort of discount for buying the bundle, and you can just buy them a la carte at the same price, it looks like the level packs will be about $5 each. So what it seems like they're going at a model for, and it seems like they're beta testing this model. They haven't announced officially, but this is what the track looks like. You release a game, yeah, sure, they're like Mass Effect, they're like Assassin's Creed, where they're just selling a 50% done game.
Yeah.
However, instead of charging you the $60 that all the Ubisoft games charge you for 50% content, they're just going ahead and charging you a third of the game right then. So if you get tired of it, you pay $35, you play $35, and you gave up. You didn't waste another 30, 20, If that goes that way, and they don't start doing stuff where they're just like, $10 cosmetics or $10 a level or some shit like that. And they keep it where the game basically won't, by the end of the roadmap, they haven't called it that, but if it is a roadmap, and they end up not exceeding $60 and the game is actually a complete game at the end, I'm open to the people trying that. Trying it.
Yeah,
but it does set, even if Minecraft Dungeons pulls it off, it does set a dangerous precedence then for people to try even more weird half-baked shit.
Yeah.
They did also announce something cool, is that they're going to be doing crossplay with the major platforms that all have Minecraft. As far as I know, if you have a Minecraft Realms pass, which sounds shitty because anything with a pass is shitty, but you pretty much have more server perks, stuff like that. But apparently, if everyone does have Realms, you can crossplay the dude playing it on their phone with the girl playing it on her computer, with the person playing it on Xbox and the person playing it on PlayStation, and the person playing on Switch can all play together if they do have that. So in a way, that's kind of cool. The only downside is it's like another $10 or $15 a month, and that's just another thing you're paying for a subscription for, a non-tangible thing. But there's that. But it'll be very interesting. Again, personally, I'm curious to see where it goes, but it could be a slippery slope.
Yeah.
So
I have mixed feelings on it.
Yeah, exactly. I felt it was an announcement that was not going to be entirely welcome with, wide open arms. And no, I didn't want to say arms wide open for a reason, but I did anyways. What about you, Mallory? You going to try it out? Have you tried it out? Are you listening?
I'm going to try it out.
Oh, okay.
I am. No, sorry. My cat was yelling at me. I am going to try it out. My nephews play Minecraft a lot. We used to play all the time. I know one of them already got it, and he's having fun with it. So we're gonna sit down and play it once I have everything set back up, and I'm definitely gonna give it a try, especially because I've looked at it. It looks cool. I do like the fact that if I don't like it, I only paid $20 for it.
Yeah,
maybe the game will get better, but
yeah, it definitely has its pluses and minuses. But yeah, that's definitely let us know. Update us though when you do start playing it, because I'm very curious, because I'm interested in it. Especially when they add crossplay, I might pick it up on Switch, and if you're playing on Xbox or PC, we can still play, which will be nice. So there's that. All right, before we wrap it up, just a little lighthearted main topic, just to kind of ease things up a bit, just because people, and shitty people at that. So keeping it nice and easy. Article came out that showed a grossly overwhelming amount of people actually eat while they play games. I have OCD. My controllers are immaculate as shit. Clearly, I never eat and play video games at the same time. I'm just curious. Don't feel like you're incriminating yourself. Don't feel like a bad person if you do. But what is your stance? We'll go Josh and Mallory. What is your stance on eating while gaming?
Actually, it's kind of funny you mention that, because this happened fairly recently. So I usually will try to stop. Especially if it's something that I'm going to be eating with my hands.
Do it before or after.
Right, and I'll just kind of stop, and I'll just do something else. Because the other day I had some leftover pizza, and once I was done eating that, I was like, well, it wasn't too bad. Let me just play. And I was playing the MK11 DLC. But I could just still feel the grease on my fingers. I was like, nope. Yeah, I stopped it.
I've seen monsters eating pizza while playing.
Yeah.
I've seen absolute sorry excuses for human beings eating while playing, and just their controllers feel like shit. Like, even when I get to play on their controller, it feels awful because it's just slippery. I don't like that. And especially playing fucking a fighting game. Probably not the best to do that, so... Yeah, see? So you got that, and you're a human, so you fast. Mallory, now don't let any of my biases stray you away. What's your stance on eating while playing? Eating while gaming? So
it all depends on what I'm eating. Usually when I'm eating, I have something like if it's a salad, and I don't have to touch anything, like just a fork. But I always have a napkin with me, so if I do, I'll sit there and eat fries while I'm playing a game. Especially if I'm really excited over the game. But I always have to use a napkin. I hate the greasy feeling, I know one of my friends used to eat Cheetos while they played.
That's disgusting.
And just the
dusting up your hands, and then you're touching your fucking
it would get on the controller, and it would gross me out. So now for me, I always have a napkin, and before I even touch my controller, I'm wiping my hands as fast as possible. I know my nephew plays while eating.
Yeah, because your nephew's a child.
Usually, yeah. So but like still, like he's gotten in the habit of wiping his hands before, you know, he touches a controller. But, you know, most of the time, some of my games are hard to play without having both hands. So if it's something like a salad, like I have a fork, it's pretty easy. But then I'll forget to eat because I'm involved in the game. So most of the time I play, you know, watching TV or I eat watching TV and then I go straight back to my game.
Okay, Josh, you were gonna say a story.
Yeah, so usually when I'm eating my Cheetos, as I'm a big fan of hot Cheetos, I do the thing where I don't eat with my fingers. I just kind of have the bag open.
Yeah,
just
you
kind
pour it in. You know what? Addendum to my statement. I have ate while playing games before, but it's usually chips, and then I just funnel that shit into my mouth.
Yeah.
And if it falls or whatever, guess what? Rest in peace, Chip. You're getting picked up later.
At an eventual time.
At an eventual time, yeah.
But I know for me personally, I'm just one of those people that just hates having dirty fingers.
Yeah.
Like, I hate it when my fingers feel unclean.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I watch them a lot.
I even hate that shit touching my phone. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, John confirmed to eat with his hands while playing video games because he's not here to defend himself. And other than that, we will catch you guys and hopefully him every Monday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And until the next episode, we will catch you guys then. Until then, we'll discuss the PS5 reveals next time. Laters.
Goodbye.
Bye.